Hey Miko, I think we have enough dolls to start recording for our next video. What do you think?
Nah, I think we can wait another year or so.
Hi, welcome to Stitchity Doodle. I'm Gayle and I'm joined by my sidekick,
Miko!
Thank you for joining us and thank you for being so patient. I know that we have been away for about 3 months now, but I've got lots and lots of projects to share with you, and because of that, I'm going to be breaking this video down into maybe 2 parts. So I hope that you will bear with us and stick around for part 2 of this video. So without further ado, let's get into it. This first pattern is inspired by Angelia from the Crocheting House Mouse here on YouTube. She was sharing on her channel all the different ice cream themed patterns that she had been working on to decorate her craft room with, because that's the theme that she's going with. As I was watching her, I got inspired and I remembered that I had previously made an ice cream girl doll. So I went on Etsy and I went shopping for another ice cream themed pattern, and I stumbled upon an ice cream teddy bear. And lo and behold, it happens to be the same pattern designer as my ice cream girl doll. So this is the pattern that I chose, and this is by Olga from Cute Patterns by Ya on Etsy. And as usual, I will have everything linked down below for you. And I super love the way that she came out. I especially love, and I think what drew me to these patterns is the waffle texture of the clothing. So the girl doll that I made, she had a dress that had this pattern, and this one happens to be her top. But I super love the way that the top came out, and it's removable. It has buttons in the back. I also love the colors that I chose for this. This reminds me of Miko's favorite ice cream flavor.
Cotton candy.
She loves cotton candy ice cream. Yeah, and it's just very cheerful, very cute and girly. And she also has a cute little tail. Yeah, I just love everything about it. Now this pattern designer does make you make 2 ears, but if you notice, you can't see the second ear. And I opted not to insert it because if I did, it would have been underneath this blue ice cream cone anyway. So I didn't even bother. So if you end up making this pattern, you might want to consider that unless you're making this removable, which I didn't, I ended up gluing it or stitching it on, but it's on there permanent. So I mean, there's no sense in making a second ear. But yeah, I love everything about it. And then, so my modifications, I did felt snout and cheeks. Now the pattern designer does provide instructions on how to crochet the snout and the cheeks, but I just made this modification because I love the look of mixed media in my amigurumi dolls. Now this pattern designer, in her pattern, she provides tons and tons of photos, and I'm not just talking about detail pretty photos. I'm talking about step-by-step instructional helpful pictures that will help you with the construction as well as assembly of your doll. And I absolutely love that, especially for patterns that are geared towards beginners. So for that reason, this is a great pattern for beginners. I mean, albeit it does use some special stitching for the waffle texture here, but other than that, the rest of it is pretty straightforward. But yeah, she provides tons and tons of photos to help you along the way, and she also includes or has available videos to help you along with your doll. So yeah, super love this pattern, highly recommend. I also forgot to mention that this pattern does not have any errors and it was easy to follow. I'm not very active on Instagram. I do have an account there, and I've been trying to post recently because I'm actively involved in a crochet along at the moment. But every now and then, when I do go on Instagram, I keep an eye out for crochet along. Especially during the holiday seasons, they tend to have a lot going on, as far as crochet alongs and types of events and things that you can get involved with. So I keep an eye out for crochet alongs every now and then. And during, I think it was the summertime, I came across the Tea Party Crochet Along. And that's where I got this pattern from. Now, this pattern is by Khuc Cay, and I love to work with velvet yarns. And so I thought, because she's kind of roundish and plump looking, I thought, you know what, let me try it with velvet yarn. And she didn't disappoint. She came out perfect. I love the soft feeling of her and the plushiness. Now, Miko was telling me how her friends she's been noticing that they've been looking at photos and TikTok videos, I guess, of amigurumis. And I asked her, well, what kind of amigurumi? She goes, not the kind that you make, Mom. She's like, the ones with the fluffy yarn and the big shiny eyes. And I was like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. The stuff that I don't make. And she goes, yeah. I love the way that she came out. I love the detail of the blushing that I used on her ears and her cheeks and face. And what I love about the velvet yarn is not only is the finished project soft and cuddly and squishy, but I love working with a yarn. It just glides through my fingers, and I use burnout velvet, regular burnout velvet and burnout velvet baby yarns. They're just slightly different thicknesses, but I love working with them both. I just love the way that she came out. She's super soft. And Miko, because she's been noticing that her friends have been kind of, looking at these things, she's been wanting to get back into crochet. So yeah, looking forward to her. I'm not gonna push her, I'm not gonna put pressure on her, but the day that she's ready, I'm here for her, ready to nudge her along. This is Sophie the bunny, and she can actually sit on her own because she's got a cute fluffy bunny tail in the back. Regardless of what the pattern says, whenever an amigurumi pattern has a tail, I almost always, whenever possible, I try to place it strategically so that it can sit on its own. I stand my doll up, and then I see at what angle I want the doll to sit, and then that's where I stick the tail, and then that's where I attach it. So yeah, I have it so that Sophia the bunny can sit on her own. And I love it when dolls are able to do that, or amigurumis are able to do that. Now for Sophia the bunny, I did not do any modifications. I made her up as is according to pattern, and I found it easy to follow, and I did not find any errors. This next pattern that I have to show you, I stumbled upon when I was trying to research for different doll patterns, and this one attracted me because her eyes. But funny thing is, the eyes is the very thing that scares Miko.
They're staring into your soul. They're scary.
It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's this doll in bear hoodie. And I think she's super cute. It's not very often that I do this technique where you put a little piece of felt behind the eyes, but I don't know, I was attracted to her. I thought she was cute and different. I'm trying to delve into patterns that are a little different so that I can learn from them or figure out if I like them or not. It's different. It's a little buggy eyes, but I think she's super cute. I think she came out to a really nice medium-sized doll. I have smaller dolls, and I don't know, I find that a lot of my dolls fall into the small range and the large and extra large range, but not really around this size, and I kind of like this size. But I'm curious what little girls are into. I know that dolls come in different sizes, but I'm curious what the most popular size is. What do you think? If you know, let me know down below in the comment section, because I'm curious. But I I really love this size for some reason. I think it's fun. Now for this pattern, I did do a little bit of modification in her head. I actually added just a few rows to her head to kind of elongate it, to make it to give it the appearance of a little bit more of a round shape. Otherwise, I think her head would have looked a little smushed. Yeah, I think her head was turning out to be a little short and saucer-like, so I ended up increasing it so it looked a little more round. Other than that, I followed pattern and I think she came out super cute. Now this pattern designer, I do not know her, but she does have a shop on Ravelry, but this is a free pattern and I will have everything linked down below. If you've been here on my channel for a while, you know that I am a big fan of Lulu Compotine's doll patterns, and she has a set of little fruit doll patterns, and I think I've made each and every one of them. She also came out with another set of 5 dolls that are floral themed, and so I bought that set and I went with the Clochette, which is a bellflower doll, and this is how she came out. So I love Lulu Compotine's facial expressions. They're very simple. They're just 2 simple little embroidered eyes, and they're just kind of like vertical eyes, and they kind of look ovalish. I've played with the eyes a little bit. I've done safety eyes. They've all been different variations of safety eyes, but I love the look of Lulu Compotine's eyes because of their simplicity. But my problem is I have a hard time duplicating it. It looks so simple. It's hard to do for me. So simple, it's hard. Yeah, does that make sense? So the first face that this Clochette had, it looked mean and mad, and that was because I was stitching in between the stitches. And when you're doing that and you want precise embroidery and placement, you can't do that. You have to be able to use a sharp needle to be able to place your stitches strategically, even if that means you're going in through a stitch, not in between them, but in through the yarn itself and through the stitch, so you can place your yarn exactly where it needs to be. And so I had to frog it out, and this is like my 3rd attempt. So this is as good as it was gonna get, and she's much happier. She looked really mad and upset before, and I can't give that out. I mean, what kid wants an angry doll? Do they have angry dolls? I know they have ugly dolls, which I think are absolutely adorable, by the way.
Yeah. I don't think
But
they have
angry dolls? I don't know.
angry.
Anyways, I'm not going to be one of those that are selling angry dolls. I want happy dolls. So this is as good as it's going to get for Lulu Compotine's dolls coming out of my hands. But I still love the way that she came out. Now, for this pattern, I was running out of her skin tone. And so I ended up improvising and just gave her some sleeves because these were supposed to be skin tone, but you know, it works. So every now and then, as an amigurumist, you're going to find that every now and then you've got to improvise. You're running out of yarn, you're playing yarn chicken, you lose, and you have to figure out midway, what do I do? How do I have to move forward with this? And yeah, so this is one of those wing it things. Now the set that this pattern comes with 5 different dolls, and it includes the poppy, chamomile, cherry blossom, strawberry, and bellflower. I always enjoy working up Lulu Compotine's patterns. I absolutely love the pocket size of her dolls. I think these are great for gifting. Now this pattern I found easy to follow. I didn't find any errors. And as for the modifications, I did choose, now with her patterns, you can choose, she does give you different variations for the colors. And I chose to give her a fuller collar just to kind of hide her neck. And for this doll, for some reason, I found her neck to be kind of long. So to cut the length of her neck, I gave her a full collar. I think she came out super cute. My next pattern comes from this book by Mari-Liis Lille. And as you can tell by all these different tabs, I have quite a few patterns in here that I have my eye on. I have done the bee, I have done Arabella. I think that's it that I've done from here, but there are so many more patterns from here that I want to make, so I've been kind of busy out of this book. So the pattern I picked out of this book I first saw on Shondelle's channel, Classy Handmade, and her doll looks super cute, and I had it in the back of my mind, and this was a long time ago, mind you, that I saw it. And so I had it in the back of my mind, I want to make this pattern. And then I started on the pattern, and it was so funny because I saw it again just recently on Caroline's channel, from Caroline from the Love of Crochet, and her doll also came out super cute. She used a different color scheme, not something that I would have thought of, but I absolutely love that pink and how it pops against the green. Ah, like genius. I love that color combination, and I wish I used it, but alas, I used the same colors as the designer, but I still think she came out super cute. So this is my froggy girl, and I used the same color as the designer, but as I mentioned, Caroline used pink and green, and I thought it was so cute. So if I ever do make this pattern again, I'm going to be copying Caroline. And I'll use your hot pink color. Absolutely genius. But I love everything about this pattern. The googly-ish eyes of the frog beanie hat, and her pigtails, and then these hair strands kind of look cartoony to me, and I love that cartoon look. It just adds character, and I think it's so sweet, very cute. And then her eyes and her cheeks, she looks so sweet. Now, Mari-Liis Lille's patterns are different from other doll patterns in that the construction is a little bit different. So if you notice, the bottom of the doll is round. And most other patterns, they're constructed differently. They don't have round bottoms. And then these legs are open, and you end up sewing them onto this round bottom. But I just thought that it was different. I wanted to, the Arabella doll is the same construction as this, but I don't know, her designs are just so cute. I can't help but just be attracted to them. Now, what I don't like about my doll and my color choice is her skin tone color. Now, I believe I love this yarn in the color linen, and I feel like, and I'm not sure if it's going to show on camera, but if I were to compare her with other doll skin tones, you'll notice that this one stands out because she looks pale and lifeless, and then her eyes are sleeping, and she can't stand on her own, so she's always going to be laying down, so she looks like a dead doll. A dead corpse, because I gave her a lifeless skin tone. I'm so sad. By herself she looks fine, but you put her with the rest that have life in their skin. So other than her lifeless skin color, I love the way that she came out. I love the quirkiness of the design, and super cute. I think any girl who doesn't have any other dolls to compare her to will absolutely love this one. Okay, so for those of you who have been on this channel a while, know that I am big fan of Crochet Confetti's doll patterns. I finally finished one of her big doll patterns. And the first one is this butterfly doll. She turned out super cute. I love everything about her. And again, I love Crochet Confetti's patterns. Normally, rag dolls are kind of simplistic. And when you look at this doll, at least when I look at her, I'm not seeing a rag doll. She doesn't have a flat head, she has a round head. And then her rag doll body style is hidden by this beautifully textured dress. And she's got lots of doll patterns where you can check it out, and she's got different beautiful textures of dresses to choose from. I love her. She's genius designer. And then she adds things like these little frills and thrills to her dolls, and just adds beautiful texture. Now these are different lace ribbons, and then this I had to do a ton of research, but yeah, I finally found it. I figured it out and I bought it, and it's not cheap. Absolutely happy. I don't regret it. I bought it. I didn't regret it. Pockets are empty. I'm a little broke, but I'm happy. You know, this doll makes me happy, and this was worth every penny. Now I've got tons more to use to make hundreds, armies of these things.
Oh.
Yeah, I love it. Now, as I mentioned, she is a rag doll, and only if you flip up her dress can you tell that she's a rag doll. But yeah, I love. Okay, so enough of the love. Her butterfly, she comes with like a strap on wings. These are removable, so if I were to pull this, it's tied on right now, but I can easily pull this and it comes off. It's just wrapped around her arms. But you can have the doll with or without her. Like if you run out of steam and you don't want to make the butterfly, she's still beautiful without the butterfly wings. But I mean, look at her. She's stunning with her beautiful wings. And they're removable. I love when designers add details that are interactive, like this removable wings. I think it adds a level of playfulness to the doll that, you know, the girls can play with, or boys can play with. But ironically though, I feel like crochet confetti dolls are more geared towards, and let me know down below what your thoughts are, but I feel like because of how much time and effort goes into making these dolls, I feel like it's geared more towards doll collectors as opposed to kids who play with these things. I mean, albeit they are safe enough for kids to play with, of course, but to justify, if you were to sell this, to justify the price that you would have to sell it because it takes so long to make this, and then the details that go into it. I mean, this is blood, sweat, and tears right here. And this is not even the most complex pattern that I've worked of crochet confetti. I haven't even gotten to that pattern yet, but it's coming.
It's coming, all right.
It's coming, and I've got a lot to say about that one. But this one is medium, complexity, but it takes a long time. And if I were to sell this, it'd be way too expensive for a little kid's mom to be able to afford. I mean, unless, you're like, I don't know, Taylor Swift, maybe. You can afford anything in the world that you want. But, yeah, I feel like these dolls are more geared towards doll collectors. I don't know of any doll collectors who collect crochet dolls, but I'm going to be one of them because this is the beginning of my personal doll collection. I've never liked dolls until I started making them, and then I was like, convert. I'm gonna make my own doll collection. I want to have my walls plastered in dolls. Okay, maybe not that many, but yeah, this is going to be the first of my doll collection. So normally for my dolls, I love using 4-weight yarns, worsted weight yarns, and my 3.5mm e-hook, my trusted hook of choice for amigurumis. However, because I was scared by my other attempt at crochet confetti's patterns and the doll size, the head, I abandoned that, and then I decided, I'm gonna try a thinner yarn and a thinner, smaller hook, and I think she came out just fine. Ironically though, it would be fun to check it out, but to see if the UFO size head is the same size as this. But regardless, I persevered and I conquered and I completed. I'm super happy. Doesn't matter what size. She is a big head, but she's super cute. Now, her hair is a little different. I don't know of any other patterns that do this, but all of 3 hair strands, I love that number, 3 hair strands. All of her 3 hair strands, they don't run in circles, and they're not loose strands, but they run horizontal across the head as if it's a headband. And then they end in this Princess Leia buns, which adds a lot of texture. I absolutely love it. Super cute. Princess Leia buns. Big fan, huh? You never knew you were. So you made one of these dolls and you're like, I'm a fan. Now for this pattern, I did not do any modifications, and for this particular pattern, I did not find any errors. I can't say that it's easy, it's long-winded, it's going to be a labor of love, but you're going to be super happy that you did it when you finish it. I am not disappointed. I love all of her patterns, but I say no errors on this pattern because I did finally stumble upon one of her patterns that did have an error, and I'm quite shocked because I did work a lot of her patterns, and thus far I hadn't found an error until this one. So I guess errors do happen. We are human after all, but that's where tech editing comes in, right? But yeah, most of her patterns, and this one included, I did not find any errors. My next pattern is also by Crochet Confetti because after I finished that doll, I was addicted. I was hooked, and I was like, I can do this. I can totally do this. I can make Crochet Confetti big doll patterns. And so I did. And I chose this one. And she is super cute too. Look at her. Now, I didn't realize until after I was done with her, but she's very similar to the other one. And when I bought these patterns, I usually try to pick patterns that are, different so that I can try different things. But apparently, I failed this one. They are very much alike. They've got the same hairdo, same wig cap, same hairdo, same face, same dress even. Look, not even a different dress pattern. Ugh, so mad at myself. Legs are similar. Only difference is the wings. Butterfly wings versus angel wings. And then the antenna versus the crown. Oh, and then the arms attachment. So this one is, she's got a little collar sleeve and attached with buttons, whereas this one is like the usual attachment. I'm a little bummed that I didn't catch that when I purchased it. Oh well, I'm still happy that it's Crochet Confetti patterns. I love the way that she came out. Now, I believe I call it the Angel Princess doll, because she's an angel because she's got her wings, and then she's got a little princess crown, or queen crown or whatever. But I absolutely love the way that she came out. I love the striping on her legs, texture of her dress, the cute little button details, and her puff sleeves. Now, I did have difficulty with the attachment of her arms. This is typical attachment style for cloth dolls. If you've made cloth dolls before, this is the exact same way that many doll patterns with sewing will have you do. But I just found it very difficult having to go straight across the body and maneuver back through the holes of the button and sew it back and forth. It was hard because you've got this needle and you've got this whole body to go through, and you've got to aim through this tiny little pinpoint of a hole in your buttons. It was hard. A lot of patience. But you know, when it's all said and done, I'm super happy with the way that she came out. She's super cute. Was it worth the hassle? Okay, yeah, I'm addicted enough to say yes, it was worth the hassle, and I would do it again. I would do it again in a heartbeat. This doll, she has wings, but she sparkles. Check that out. This doll sparkles. Now this is Hobby Lobby's Yarn Bee something or other sequin. I will have it down below in the description box. But it's a really thin gold thread with sequin built into it, and I double stranded with this yellow colored yarn, and I just love the way that it came out. So I used it for her wings and also for her crown, because of course her crown's gotta shine, right? I absolutely love the way that she came out, and I love the pink and the peach color that I ended up using. Super love her dolls, and it only gets worse from here, guys. Hang on, let me get the next doll. Oh, I forgot, before I get to the next doll, no errors on this pattern. Modifications, I did modify the arms just for my own convenience. I made the arms the same size through and through because she has a little bit of shaping towards the tip. I pretty much did my own thing for the arms, but the rest of it I pretty much did the same thing. Oh, and then I only gave her 2 strands instead of 3 because I felt like I was running out of space for her face. So I ended up with 2 strands. But her Princess Leia buns still ended up pretty full, so I think it worked out just fine. Okay, my next doll pattern I've had, I think this might have been the very first pattern that I've had and owned from Crochet Confetti. I did make this once before, very long time ago, probably one of my first dolls that I've made. Didn't like it. I think her head shape was kind of odd. I was still new, you know, those dolls where you start off and you start nitpicking over why your amigurumi just doesn't look quite right. Yeah, it was one of those. But this time around, the second time around, I'm thrilled with the way that she came out. I love her head. I love the way that she looks. I love the color combination. I love the size. And she's just absolutely adorable. Nothing that I can complain about. I love her hair. It's not the Princess Leia look. I love her hat. She's got little fox things. She's got what do you call these? It's not scarf. A cowl? I think? No. I don't know. Infinity scarf, perhaps? Anyways, this is removable, so that's cool. Now, this particular pattern, you can tell that she's a rag doll, which is fine. I think it's super cute anyway. And her cute little fox tail. Now this one is a tail, and it's not going to help support her. She can't stand on her own, but she does sit. Absolutely love. I'm addicted, obsessed actually, with Crochet Confetti. And when you look at this doll, can you blame me? I mean, I love it. Now this pattern, I also just used 2 strands for her hair for the same reason. I thought that I was running out of space for her face, so I just put 2 instead of 3. But I did not find any errors in this pattern. Her freckles, I love that pattern designer makes the freckles a little bit different. Like some are short, some are long, and then some are thin and some are bold. I think when I first started making my freckles, they were all even and perfectly spaced out, but I love the sort of almost random look to this. It's not really random, but I think it's a little more interesting, so I love that. Just a warning, you're going to be seeing more Crochet Confetti pattern dolls on this channel, so be on the lookout. If you're tired of seeing these guys, okay, you can skip the next episode or so. So I'll see you next time when you're ready to join us. So thank you for joining us on this episode. I know that there were a lot. I still have a lot more to show you since I've been on a hiatus for a long time. But thank you so much for joining us. And I hope that I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Miko is a little off-put by it. I think she's pretty hip. Look at that. She's in her hoodie and her jeans, and if she had pockets, she'd have her hands in her pockets. She'd be like, yeah.
Because she's hip.
A little cool.
Because she's groovy.
That's right.
Because she's
Groovy?
No one says hip
How
or groovy. It's totally tubular, dude.
Okay, what's the cool terminology now? Fire. That's what it is, right? Oh, that's fire. I think that's what they call it, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. I don't know. I just never heard you say that before.
I don't know. I just know that groovy's out. Cool is out.
She's totally hip, totally tubular.
Whatever. I'm not gonna use the term cool anymore.
What do you mean? I didn't say cool wasn't cool.